For those of you who don't know me, I'm Iron Wolf with DBS. And welcome to our first ever seminar, the topic being Blazons. I'm going to go over some basic stuff with them, so I apologize if it's, something you've already known for a long time, but I just want to cover all the bases for anybody who doesn't even know what Blazons are. So, what are Blazons? Blazons are special gear-like items that give stat bonuses to your troops. Um, each one belongs to a specific set, and the set names are going to be different for each of the troop types. So for ground, the attacking set is Justice, and then there's a defending set, and it's Sacrifice. These different sets, you can have six of them, and when you have all six, they give different bonuses. If you only have two, you get the two-piece bonus, kind of like gear for your generals. Really a very similar deal with that. And then each blazon itself gives different attributes. Let's see, for example, I'm not going to have any. I'll open a few later to have some other options of things. Like this is 3 attacking and an in rally. So they can have different attributes. They're not all going to be all 4 the same. And it's going to be kind of luck of the draw with what you get on those as you level them up. So if I change to this one, you'll see new attribute unlocks at level 10. And then the 4th one will unlock at level 15. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, they work a lot like the general equipment though, and ways that you can get Blazons, obviously spending, but if you don't want to spend, there are ways to get them. So monsters and bosses have a tendency to drop them, specifically Sphinxes. So you want to make sure you're getting in on those rallies when they happen, so that you can get as many of the free Blazon boxes as you can. And certain events do have the ability to use the event items that you get to purchase Blazons or get them by chance. So just keeping an eye out for those, making sure you're doing those event ones. And just with whatever you get for free, you can get some more Blazon boxes. So basic use of Blazons. Obviously, you have to equip them for them to take effect. You also have to equip them in order to upgrade them. So if I wanted to switch this one out and try to get a better Blazon, then you hit change, it equips it, and then you go to upgrade. Now in this upgrade screen, you'll see I have Blazon cores. They basically, they're useless other than to upgrade the Blazons. For me personally, I like to, and I'll show you guys how to use the filters in a little bit, but I like to utilize these Blazons that to me, they're throwaway stats. So, like this has a defending siege machine attack, but it has training capacity. It's not helping you at all in PvE. I would strongly suggest that you guys move on from this one and use it just to upgrade the Blazons that you will want to use or may want to use. Those ones that have double defending siege attack, or if you're not going to have 2 different sets active, a defending and an attacking, or generic ones where it just says siege machine attack. But I would encourage you to use these ones before the Blazon cores, because you want to kind of clear out your Blazon inventory. If you'll see in the inventory screen, go to items, and then it's the 5th tab is going to be Blazons. You can only hold 1,500. So in order to open more boxes, you want to get through how many you have. And I tend to use them, like if I wanted to upgrade this one to level 20, that's when I'm going to use that's generally when I use the Blazon cores. So I'll go ahead and reset this for now. The max level is level 20. So once you get it up to level 15 and you get that 4th attribute, and you're like, hell yeah, this is a great Blazon, I want to keep this one, go ahead, keep upgrading it until it's level 20. Once it's level 20, it allows for cultivation. So that upgrade button becomes cultivate, and you click cultivate, and now it's a lot like cultivating the generals. So it uses these things called Blazon crystals, and to start with, it takes 10, and it also takes the refining stones, it takes 200. So you click this cultivate button, and it randomly decides how much they're going up. Some of them may drop, just like when you cultivate a general. It'll come up with a green number up here if the net result is positive. It will come up with a red number up here if the net result is negative. Generally, the way that I do these is I cultivate, and if it's the number up here is green, no matter what's happening down here, if it's green, I just take it and I keep going. If the number is red up here, I don't take the cultivation, and then I keep going, hoping for obviously positive ones. There will be times when there's no change. There's times when there is change down here, but the net result is 0. So no positive gains, but no negative gains. And it's just up to you if you want to take it or if you want to reject it and keep going. Any questions so far, everybody? Does everything make sense? Specifically with this cultivating? I know that's kind of new for some people. No?
Do you
Okay.
get the items needed to do the cultivation?
Yep. So to get these, they're called Blazon crystals. That's what you're talking about, right, Card?
Yes.
Okay. So to get those, and that's a great question, one that I was planning on getting to, but I didn't know when. Well, I went through that quick. So you click on the any of the troop builder buildings, and you hit smelter. It'll take you to the screen, and you can select Blazons. And up here, it'll increase how many of those you're getting. I'm only getting 1 per level 1 Blazon that I select. I would encourage you to not use the level 1s, because that's going to be your most efficient way to level up the Blazons. And also, kind of going back to those Blazon cores, they're not super common. So that's why I kind of hang on to them and only use them for upgrading level 15 up to level 20. So you're going to use the level 1s to level up other Blazons. At those, what I call benchmark levels of level 10, where you get the 3rd attribute, or level 4, where you get the 4th, or level 15, where you get the 4th attribute. That's where I kind of determine, am I going to keep going with this one, or am I going to scrap it? And again, my way of determining that is that a PvP stat? If it's not a PvP stat, I'm not going to keep that around. Now, for those of you who have not put a whole lot into your Blazons, even if it's not that third or fourth stat is not a PvP stat, it still might be your best Blazon. So you want to make sure that you click this little lock. If it's gray and it's not, this the little loopy part is not down, then it could accidentally get used to upgrade another Blazon. So to ensure that you cannot accidentally use it, just click that. It'll be gold and you'll be safe. Another way, if these are not locked, if they're saved to a set, they also cannot be used. Personally, when I change this out, if I change this out to another Blazon and I want to keep the new Blazon, I always lock it and then I save the new set. So I would save it to set 2 again if that were the case. That double protects yourself because 1, it's saved to a set. 2, you have the lock locked. So if I wanted to not keep this one, which I don't know why this is still locked, so this is a good demonstration. So I'm not going to keep this because the third one is mounted troop load. Just kidding. I think that's in my makeshift defense set. But it's also a good teaching moment. So I've unlocked this one. It's saved to my defense set. If I go over here, it's still not listed for me to use. If I were to, well, I don't want to risk anything. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to risk accidentally destroying that one. But the level 10s tend to be the ones, one like this, where eventually I'm going to want to replace this. A level 10 is what I would use in that smelter. And it's going to give you, I don't know, 100 and some odd. It's like 136 or something, some random number of these. But that's what I tend to use to get these Blazon crystals. And then, the level 15s give you a bunch more. If you get to that fourth stat and it's something you don't want to keep, then you can use them here, get a bunch of Blazon cores. That way, nothing is wasted. You can use the level 10s and the level 15 Blazons to upgrade other Blazons, but they don't give you rounded numbers like the level 1s do. So what I mean by that is if I change this out and go to upgrade it, if I select 1, it gives me 100. If I select 2, it gives me exactly 200. If you use the level 10s, it gives you some amount and like 20 extra XP. So you wind up losing out, or could wind up losing out on some XP by using those higher level Blazons. That's why I like to use them for the Blazon crystals. Even if I have a remainder, hold on. Even if I have a remainder, it's just going to hang out there until I get more Blazon crystals, and then I can keep using it. So nothing is wasted. Does that answer your question? Make sense, Karth?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we talked a little bit about the set attributes. Again, you can get a 2-piece bonus, 4-piece bonus, or a bonus for having all 6 of the same set. Obviously, that means you can mix and match. That's entirely up to you. For those of you that are going to have an attacking set and a defending set, obviously you'd be more inclined to want to get the full 6-piece set bonus for those specific sets. So, attacking and defending. But if you, sorry,
I got a question. Do you happen to have any of the dual attribute boxes in your inventory?
I do. So
Can you go to one of them and pull it up and show them what the different sets are? Because
yeah,
there's looking at that is a good visual to explain. Like, okay, this set is for PvP. This set is for defense, in-city defense, and then
yeah,
mounted. You only have PvP attacking, and then monster. So you don't have defense for the mounted and stuff.
yep.
And
So that's actually a really good suggestion. Thank you, Stone. So these dual attribute Blazon chests is what he's talking about. It's like the junior Blazon chest, but it takes the chance part out of it. You can select which ones. And so you'd go in and so ground troop justice set. It's going to be all the justice Blazons. You can see that they come with double attacking on them. So you'd select, one of these to take. Ground troop sacrifice is the defending set for ground. Ranged valor, attacking for range. Ranged compassion, defending for ranged. And like he was saying, mounted troop, you have the soul set, which is a monster hunter set, and the mounted honor set is attacking. So like he said, there is no set for the mounted troops for defending. Just so everybody is aware of that. Then Siege goes back to the other two where honesty is the attacking set and humility is the defending set. Now, real quick, I will add to that you can still develop your own mounted defending set, and I'll show you that. I've actually started working on that, and it's harder to get, but you just again, I'll show you the filters after I kind of get through my kind of basics spiel. But you just filter it down to keep the double defending ones, and you just lock them as you go. And you'll still get these, even if it's not a defending set, you're still going to get defending buffs for your mounted troops. So just throwing that out there, that is something you can do. I would suggest trying to get honor, but they're so tough to get that I keep soul ones as well. And if I mix and match, it is what it is. I'm obviously on my defending set because I'm expecting to get hit, not expecting to throw attacks out there too. But at any rate, so mixing and matching. Like I said, you can mix and match from the two different sets, and it could be a good idea for those of you who are only going to have one set. You can get some benefits from the attacking sets, and you can get some benefits from the defending sets. And then it also opens the doors for which Blazons you keep. If you're going to have two separate sets, if you have an attacking and a defending on one Blazon, you're probably not going to want to keep it because you're going to want to focus on attributes that affect what you're going for. So if it's an attacking set, double attacking or a mix of attacking and in rally, or the generic ones. So and defending, you want either defending or the generic ones. They're both going to affect your defending. But if you're mixing and matching, if you get an attacking attribute and a defending attribute, then it's still benefiting you no matter what you're doing. And that would tend to be the low coiners or free-to-play players. You're probably going to want to just go for a single set for each troop type because it's just that much tougher for you to get Blazon boxes. So yeah, mixing and matching can be beneficial depending on what you're going for. Blazon cultivating, we've pretty much gone over that. Are there any other questions on Blazon cultivation from anyone? Karth, you had a really good question, and thank you for that. Any others, though? I'll touch on the Blazon inheritance. It's this goofy looking thing up here. It just looks like it's a decoration, but it's actually a button. You click on that, and you can inherit. Well, it says it right here. After inheritance, the cultivation attributes of the original Blazon will disappear, and they go to the inherited Blazon. So what you would do with that is, if you say, I'm tired of trying to get a better Blazon here, I want the better buffs with, getting it up to level 20 and doing the cultivations. If you do at some point get a Blazon that you'd want to replace that one with, those cultivations are not wasted. I don't have anything here to demonstrate with, and I haven't messed around with this, but
and I have done it. And see, this is something where Iron and I have discussed a little bit. He is very focused on having that perfect Blazon with the perfect buffs for all four of them, and before he maxes it out and moves on. That's how he prefers. Me, I look at it a little bit differently, and the way I see it is, okay, even if my third attribute that pops up is not a good one, as long as it's not just complete trash, like troop training or something. But even if it's not a perfect Blazon, I don't mind going ahead and maxing out that Blazon, and then and getting it to 20, so I can start some cultivating, because I can get more buffs from the cultivating than I can from having that fourth attribute anyways. And so I can cultivate that for a while, and eventually even have the cultivation maxed out on it, and then that gives me time to work on that new Blazon. And when I do wind up finding or getting lucky and getting that perfect Blazon that Iron shoots for, then I've already got cultivating done, so I can go into this inheritance and just swap them over and then get rid of the old one. So it could be either way can be costly. Honestly, because he'll lose a lot by redoing the Blazons over and over and over again, trying to get that perfect one. But I'll wind up stopping sooner, because I'm not as worried about having a complete perfect one, and continue on with the cultivating and get that out of the way. And then when I do get the perfect one, it's the same thing, just a different route of going about it.
Yeah. And I forget when this inherit option came along. It's a relatively recent one, but I think it's been out for a few months now. And I'll be honest, I forget about it a lot. But I have gotten a few up that are mixed attacking in rally, which, real quick, in rally, in this instance, in rally ranged HP is going to offer a higher buff than attacking ranged HP. Attacking ranged HP is going to offer a higher buff than just what's called the generic, which would just be ranged troop HP. But there are pros and cons to both. So in rally is obviously only going to apply to in rally, whereas attacking applies to your solo hits as well as your in rally hits. And the generic ones are going to affect both attacking and defending. So should be pretty self-explanatory, but for those who weren't aware, that's how that works. And personally, for me, I like to have the attacking just because I don't want my solo hits to suffer. This is only 1.1% higher than this one. I personally don't think it's worth having that much lower solo hits, and this is just for me. If you're ones who tend to just join rallies, then you may want to go for the in rally buffs. But for me, I like to have my solo hits still have some buffs to them from my Blazons. So like this might be one that eventually I might switch this to all for attacking instead of having the one in rally. And I don't know. Eventually I'll cultivate this. And yeah, like Stone said, once I get that quote unquote perfect Blazon, then I can just switch it over with this feature. It's a really nice feature, and they've come out with a lot of nice features for the Blazons. For example, having these different sets, if you're going to have multiple sets, I would strongly, strongly, strongly suggest that whether it's 1, 2, or 3, you have all of your attacking Blazons under one set and all of your defending Blazons under another set. Because when you're in battle, from the world screen, you can easily go to this and swap your sets. Just make sure this box is checked. You hit confirm, they're all switched. So if you suddenly have a rally on you, and we're in the midst of setting a rally, so you can't port away, you can quickly swap over to your defense Blazons and get all of those defense buffs before that rally hits you. And then with the inheritance, the cultivating, and filters, which I'm almost done with my little script here, and then I'll get into the filters. I know I keep mentioning it, but not actually going into it and promising, but I will get there. You're going to have to basically determine for yourselves which troop type you want to focus on. And again, if you're having multiple sets, whether you want to focus on defending or focus on attacking, at least for me, in my mind, it's easier for me to focus on one troop type, especially if you don't have any sets yet. Focus on, we'll just say, range. So if you want to stress attack, focus on your range set and getting a full set of it with PvP attributes on all 6 of them and building those up. Or if you want to focus on defense and choosing what troop type you need to focus on. For me, I've been trying to get my siege defense buffs up, so I've been focusing a lot on my siege defense Blazons. But that's going to be different for each person. And then, same thing with once you get, good Blazons, getting them up to level 20 and working on the cultivations on one. Yeah, and this 4th bullet point on this touches on what Stone said. So perfect rolls are long-term goals. Near perfect is good enough until inheritance. So that pretty much covers everything.
Is there an order that you would recommend working on them, like attacking, HP, or defense, as far as the 2 pieces per set?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because, like I said, everybody's at different stages.
Yeah, it's
in
going to depend
general,
on the person.
Yeah.
Like,
In general,
let
I
me say
mean,
broccoli. Like broccoli, she's basically a defense keep. That's that's what she's flat out built for. So she may decide to go just straight up defense. She may make the choice not to build anything for attack and just concentrate just on the in city buff side. And she she may put more focus on the defense and the HP and less on the attack, because that may be what she wants to focus the most on with her build, since she is since her keep is built that way. She may go and do some other ones to have some options too. Like myself, I'm primarily attacking keep because, as you all know, I rarely get attacked. So most of my focus on many things is the attack, and the defense will come a little bit later. But most of my focuses are on the attacking side. I've recently started trying to work more on defense, but for a couple of you, like the middle-sized people in the hive, where we're always saying concentrate most on, or really concentrate on defense, because that's where you'll get most of your points if you get rallied in battles. Then
Yep.
that could be a consideration for you too, because if you focus on the in city Blazons and go for like the defense, in city defense and in city HP first, that may help you come out even better on those and score higher. But then it's kind of tough for you guys because you also want to have the attacking benefits also. So I mean, it's one of those things. Just focus, or just push where you have the most focus on at the time, and where you think it will benefit your own build the most.
and
Everybody's build is different.
I would say, any of you can contact, me or Stone or, Brandon. I think you have a pretty decent handle on these. Skunk, I think, has a pretty decent handle on these. But just, I mean, don't hesitate to ask any of us for our input, because, like we said, it's going to be dependent on who it is, what your build is, and just kind of where you're at with it. So if you're not sure, uh, I would strongly recommend reaching out to somebody and asking for their input, because, again, Blazon boxes, I mean, unless you're spending a ton, and even when you do spend a ton, they are a pain in the ass, and you go through them quick. So you don't want to just kind of guess and potentially end up wasting them. At the end of the day, as long as you're working towards increasing your buffs, it really isn't a waste, but maybe it could be better used for a certain troop type, for a certain, whether it's attacking or defense, based on where you're at. If you don't have the siege buffs to support your siege, or rather you don't have the troops to support having siege buffs, maybe siege isn't the best one to go for. Maybe you should focus on range or something. So yeah, just definitely feel free to ask questions. Um, yeah, I'd hope that none of you are afraid of asking any of us for help. So
Yeah, there's no one size fits all formula for Blazons. It's really truthfully what your keep build is.
yep,
And
yep,
obviously, this is another of those sections that the more you spend in coin, the more options you're going to have and the more you can do with it. And if you're a little to no spender, you're going to be extremely limited. So when you hear us speak about like the perfect Blazons and getting like the perfect, trying to get the perfect buffs on each one, that may not be one of the better options for you. Just you may want to go with kind of the best ones you can get a hold of and go for that, because the Blazons to tear apart and be able to upgrade and stuff are going to be a lot more rare for you to get a hold of. And trying to get a perfect Blazon and get it up to level 20 requires a massive amount of Blazons that you have to tear apart and use to upgrade. I mean, it's a massive amount. And if you're a little to no spender, you don't really get that option. So when you hear about getting the perfect Blazon on stuff, that may not be one of the better goals for you to shoot for. Just you might want to just look. You might have to go and search through all the different Blazons through your inventory and try to find the best ones to start with. And if you can get 3 good buffs out of one, then if, as a little to no spender, I'd say that's probably a very good win.
Right.
You know, and if you get a crappy buff on your 4th one, then it sucks. But I mean, you're going to go through a massive amount of Blazons trying to fix that, and it may not be worth it for you.
Right. And I will say, as you're working on Blazons, regardless of what is on it, like if you're just starting out with Blazons, whatever you have is going to be better than what you had before because you didn't have anything. Then, as you're building them up, you know, if you get a better Blazon to replace it with, even if it has one of those quote unquote throwaway stats of, you know, training capacity or troop load or something like that, it still may be better than what you had. So always evaluate what you just got compared to what you had before, and if it's better, it's better. Keep that better one until you get a better one in the future. And yeah, just like Stone said, you know, if you're a little to no spender, then you may have a throwaway stat or two, but that's fine, you know, because like you said, it is going to take a lot to try and replace it. So you may as well keep what you have and start working on another, you know, Blazon to build that up. It all depends on, you know, who you are and your ability to spend, if you desire to spend, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And like
please.
for instance, sorry, I was going to say, for instance,
please
like
don't fixate
Iron and
on.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, for Iron and I, trying to get a Blazon to level 15. Him and I both are going to want a good stat to unlock on that level 13. You know, so we might have the stats we want for the first 2 going up to level 10, but unlocking that 3rd one at 15, we could keep getting that troop training capacity or gathering or something like that over and over. So we can it's going to cost us a ton of Blazons to get it up to that level 15 for us just to unlock a trashy buff that we don't want. So we're going to go and get rid of that Blazon and start a new one to try to get a third good one. So we got to go through the entire process again. And we could wind up doing that 30 different times before we finally unlock a 3rd one that we like. And that requires a lot of different Blazons that we're going through to even unlock the 4th one. And that's not even counting or to unlock the 3rd one. That's not even counting the 4th one, which is going to take a lot more. So
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
No, I was basically done. Go ahead.
Okay. So I just wanted to hit on the Blazon filters. This is one of the best things that they've come out with to make Blazons a lot less of a pain in the ass, in my opinion. So first things first, I generally try and save up my Blazon boxes. Again, if you're a little to no spender, you're probably not gonna, get a ton of these before you start working on them. Maybe 1 to 200 or so, maybe open them. But if you're a spender and you acquire them a bunch, I would say save them up to at least this level where you can open them. It's just kind of more efficient, in my opinion, to open them up to the max. So once I do that, then I'll go into my Blazons, and I'm not going to go through all of it right now, but so again, I'm trying to get actually I won't start with that one because I think that one's perfect on both, or on the attacking, I mean. So I'll start with this one. So this one's not a bad one, double defending, a generic one, and an in rally one. But again, for me personally, I want to, this is my defending set, so I'm not getting anything from the in rally. So I'm going to go to Blazon filters, and I'm going to set it up. You don't have to do anything with troop or Blazon type. Set type. If I wanted to just focus, this is my sacrifice set. So I could select this to focus just on sacrifice. I personally, I just leave it either none selected or both selected. It doesn't matter. It'll pull up both sets either way. And by doing this, I don't have to switch the a whole bunch of stuff around with my filters each time. I just have it set to cover both attacking and defending, and it just takes a little bit more, like I have to go through a little bit more and whatnot. So, and then you select the effective conditions, attacking and defending. In my case, that's what I shoot for. But whatever ones of these that you want to shoot for. For those of you who are okay with getting the generic ones, you're going to want to check this overall one as well, and then go to buff and hit attack, defense, and HP. Realistically, for this one, it should just be HP, but you can hit all three. It's not like you're going to randomly get a fire Blazon that has attack on it. It's not a possibility, but that would be a way for you to get the generic ones to pop up for you as well. Just don't check the weight loading and training capacity. So I'm going to deselect that because that's not what I want. And then again, once you set your effective conditions, buffs, if you are doing that, you want to check the 2 or more so that you filter out anything that doesn't have those ones that you're those attributes that you're looking for. And then you just hit confirm. So then I'm only going to see ones that have those. Now I'm going to get ones that have attacking and defending with that. So I said I'm going to have to look through it a little bit more. This has double defending, but it's justice. So I don't want to keep that. And that one's a mix. So I don't want to keep that. And it's going to show all the ones that I've gotten before that I do want to work on eventually. But, then I move on to the next one, go in my Blazon filters, set them all up, and then hit confirm. And here's a justice that's double attacking. And I can check that. I'll probably hold on to that. And I just lock them. And then this one's a justice that's double defending. I won't bother locking it because it's useless for me. And what I do is I go through all 6 on the ground, all 6 on the range, all 6 on the mounted, and all 6 on the siege. once I've filtered it out and I've locked all of the ones that I want to keep, that leaves all of the ones that I'm okay with getting rid of unlocked and ready to be consumed. So if I want to keep working on this one, I can go to upgrade and then auto select, and it's going to select enough Blazons for me to be able to upgrade this. Now I didn't actually filter through all of them because I'm not going to, put you people through the pain of watching me do that. But then I just hit upgrade. It would go up to level 14. I'm also not going to bother upgrading this anymore because I've ground troop load on there. I don't even know why it's up to 13, but but yeah, that's how you filter. It just makes things so much faster. I know me personally, when I was going through each and every Blazon before they came out with this filter, it was I didn't want to work on Blazons because it was just such a long process. I'd sit there for hours going through all of my Blazons and filtering them out myself. This makes it a lot faster, and you can get to working on your Blazons a lot sooner. So it's a really good feature. If you have questions about it, I know I kind of went through it kind of quick, but if you have questions about it, again, feel free to reach out to me or Stone or somebody.